I just want to put this in here. Most of you have heard this before. I just want to put it in for the recording's sake. In Genesis 3:16 says, unto the woman I said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow. Because most people ask me, I get this question if I speak to 10 people outside the church that want to ask me about something. I had it about 3 weeks ago. Somebody asked me this again in a shop. But he said to me, he asked, and I'm not making myself look good, he said, I've asked so many pastors this question and none of them could answer me. And I don't blame the pastors, it just doesn't fall in their curriculum to know this because they don't get taught this. But this question I get, when they start asking me the question, I already know what they're going to ask because there's always this question. They want to know when Cain and Abel fought, why were there people outside of Eden? Because it was just Adam and Eve, and those were the first kids that were born. Have you read that in your Bible? When Cain was told to go out of the garden, he was told to go to the east side of Eden, not the east side of in the garden, east side outside the garden of Eden. And he said, how can I go there because the people are going to kill me? What people are there then? I thought they were the first children of Adam and Eve. How can there be people? That's a question that people ask. How can there really be people if these were the first kids born because their names are mentioned in the Bible? So how can there be people outside of Eden? Huh? Some of you might not have even thought of that. Because I'm telling you, the people ask this every time. And it's very easy. This verse explains it in detail. We just haven't read it yet, maybe. It says here, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. So he's saying, when they sinned, they just sinned here. He said, now, because you ate of that tree, your labor pains, in plain English, I'm going to multiply. You're going to have pain now when you give birth. They didn't have pain before that, when they gave birth. It says here, I will multiply. They probably had like nearly no pain. But he says, now because you've sinned, that what you felt at giving birth is going to be multiplied. So what is he saying to her? Up to now, all the children you had before were easy to birth. But from now, if you give birth, there's going to be pain involved because of sin. He doesn't say, this is going to be the first time you're going to have children. Do you see? He's explaining what will take place when you have children again. He's saying there, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow at thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be thy husband. He doesn't say this is the first time she's going to have children. It's saying, from now on, when you have children, there's going to be pain involved. So they've had lots of children up to this time. That's why there were people outside. Because we don't know when this took place. This could have taken place 100 years. They could have been on the earth 100 years and then they sinned. They could have been on the earth for 1,000 years and then they sinned. The Bible doesn't say. In 100 years, how many people can be multiplied? A lot. Just in 100 years. Because remember, they were allowed to marry one another. It was, God allowed that. It's what the way it was there. So let's say 500 years. How many generations can there be in 500 years? A lot. That's why there were already people everywhere in that area. Because Adam and Eve lived 900 years. The Bible says Adam was 930 years old. They had children. A lot. And their children had children. A lot. So when these two were born, Cain and Abel, there's really been lots of children in the Bible born. They just get mentioned because there's something in it that happens. That's why the Bible mentions. The Bible doesn't mention the ones before that. All right. It's a simple thing to understand. There's one verse, and go read it in all your translations. You can go in the Greek and the Hebrew. They've had children before this. It's just from there on. It says now you will have pain when you have children. That's why there were lots of people already there. All right. So it's important for you to know this because people ask this question because they think there's something wrong with the Bible. They will come to you in the way that the Bible is wrong because they say there's first two are born and there were people already there. And then now you won't look stupid. Now you can say to them, wait, I know. Go read this verse 16. It's easy to remember. Genesis 3:16 is like John 3:16. It's easy to remember. All right. I just want to get that out of the way because that's something you're going to get asked a lot.